I first started doing Helltides in Diablo 4, I thought it was the biggest waste of time to do in the game. I wasn't getting any good items for it, and I was just wasting my time running around collecting all of these cinders and not getting anything good for it. But there's actually a trick that you can do in Diablo 4 during these Helltides to get some incredibly good items and lots of legendaries. So that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. This is everything you need to know about Helltide, the mistakes you need to not make, and how to get the best items during the events. Now, the mechanics for Helltide are pretty simple. You just run around and kill as much stuff as you can to be able to collect cinders. You're going to kind of treat this as if you're playing hardcore, because if you die, you're going to lose up to half of the cinders that you have on your body when you die. This is going to be pretty devastating, and you really don't want it to happen. So just play it safe, find large packs of enemies, and wipe them out to collect your cinders. You can play the safe game and just kill these large packs of enemies that don't have elites in them if you don't want to worry about dying. It's going to be completely up to you, but if you're feeling more powerful, then obviously you can do the events, fight all the bosses and things like that as well. But there are just some weird things that happen where you can just die without you really being able to do anything. So one of the things that I do recommend is just finding a good mob density area and just continuously farm that up, and you won't have any risk of ever really dying. Yeah, it might not be as fun as killing elites and doing the events, but quite frankly, if you want the fastest way to be able to do it, it really is just the fastest way. There are plenty of world events to be able to participate in where you can get obols and things like that, and I do recommend doing that if you don't stand any risk of dying during it. But if you do have a risk of dying or you're nervous about it, avoid events and the big world bosses that can spawn, because quite frankly, it's just not really worth it. These cinders that you collect are going to be used to open up these tortured chests you can find throughout the Helltide. Now, your first inclination might be, when you find one, to just go ahead and spend your cinders and open it. But do not do this. You're going to find plenty of these chests strewn around, like the Tortured Gift of Amulets here for 125 cinders. I cannot express this enough. The problem that I was doing when I first started Helltide was I was opening these up. These are absolute garbage. There is only one type of chest that you actually want to open in the Helltide, or else you're going to be wasting your cinders, and you should be focusing only on these chests at the beginning of the Helltide and nothing else. Now, I do want to mention one more thing about these events before we go find the specific chest is, yeah, when you open up the chest at the end of these events, they will drop cinders, but quite frankly, it's not any more than you'll get from just farming these higher mob density stuff. I've been doing a lot of testing with it, and frankly, just avoiding elites and farming these higher mob density things is the most efficient way to farm up cinders that I've found so far, but feel free to leave comments down below with your experience and what you think as well. Now, the chest that you're going to be looking for is right here. There's actually no items sitting on top of it. This is the Chest of Mysteries, and it's 175 cinders to be able to open. Now, what's interesting about these is they do seem to be able to move around the map, and you can't really see them on the map like you can with the other ones until you're really close to where they spawn. And you're going to see a lot of people running around looking for these particular chests. So let's see, we got one right here, the Tortured Gift of Mysteries. This is the only chest you want to focus on opening. I've usually been able to get about 2 of these per Helltide, and let's go ahead and open it up and you'll see why. Now, not only are we going to get a bunch of stuff popping out of here, but we're going to get a lot of elixirs, tons of legendaries. We got ancestral stuff. We got a whole bunch of ancestral stuff this time, actually. That was really good. We're also getting these potions, too, which can be incredibly useful. So we're getting a lot of really good things from these mystery things. Like we got increased overpower damage. These are actually some that I got earlier. I got the Elixir of Cruelty, which increases my critical strike chance by 15. You get a lot of amazing potions from them. You get the most legendaries possible. You usually get about 2 to 4. I don't think I've ever gotten any more than that. But you're going to get some of the best gear possible doing this method. If you open up any other chest, you're honestly just wasting your time and you're wasting your cinders. So just continuously farm up to 75, try and find these particular chests, and that's really all you need to do to really succeed at Helltide. I've gotten 2 of these mysterious chests per Helltide, and once you open one up, you can't open up that same one again, and they do seem to be able to move around the map. I've pinned some around the map, and then I've gone back, and they haven't been there when I went back. So really just only spend your time looking for these chests when you're close to having enough cinders, because if you mark one on the map and you waste your time running back to it, it might actually not be there, and that can get really frustrating, especially when you're getting towards the end of the Helltide. This is what I mean about not being able to see it on the map. Like, we've got these tortured chests all around the map here, but you can't actually see the mysterious one from far away like you can all of these others. Now, the only time that you want to open up anything other than the mysterious chest is if you're getting towards the end of the Helltide and you either don't have enough cinders for a mysterious one, or it's just about to end and you have enough to open up one next to you, then yeah, you can open up one of those, but otherwise you really are just wasting your time. Now, while you're doing the Helltide, you might run into Kixarth here, which seems to be just some kind of roaming world boss that goes through the Helltides. Absolute waste of time. Don't even bother killing it. Even if you can, it doesn't drop anything good, and you're just going to run a high risk of dying and losing all of your cinders, so quite frankly, just stay far away from it, don't engage it, and don't waste your time, because it just doesn't drop anything worthwhile, which is a big bummer. Hopefully they actually fix that and make a reason for people to actually want to kill it. There is one other thing to keep in mind when you're doing these Helltides, and that's for enchanting your equipment. I really don't ever recommend enchanting legendary equipment because you can see how expensive it is. It's absolutely insane. But the only way you can get Forgotten Souls or even Fiend Rose is actually during the Helltides. You can get the Fiend Rose from plants as you're exploring the Helltide, so definitely make sure to keep an eye out for those. And honestly, you should always be collecting plants to make your potions anyways. But one of the few reasons you might actually want to do events is because those chests at the end of events do have a chance for dropping the Forgotten Souls. You can also get them from the chests that you spend cinders on, so that might be a reason to get the lower end chests as well, but I really don't recommend spending your cinders that way. But if you're in a pinch and you need these Forgotten Souls, then that's an option as well. I recommended not enchanting the legendary items, and that's because more often than not, these rare items can be much better, and it's significantly cheaper to be able to enchant them to reroll the stats. But the thing is, they're still going to cost these Forgotten Souls, and you're going to plow through these a lot if you're really trying to min-max your build. So definitely make sure to take advantage of Helltides to be able to stock up on these items. Now, one thing many people out there may be wondering is, can you farm up these cinders on a lower world tier and then go to a higher world tier to turn them in for higher level gear? Unfortunately, this does not actually work. The same can be said for the Tree of Whispers. The Grim Whispers and the cinders that you collect on the world tier that you're on stay locked to that specific world tier. So if you're on world tier 3 and you have, like, say 150 cinders, that's going to be locked to world tier 3. If you transfer to world tier 4 and go back to the same Helltide you were farming up, you will no longer have any of the cinders at all. The same thing goes for the Tree of Whispers as well, which honestly, that tree is completely useless. Don't use it ever. Blizzard, if you're watching this, please, for the love of God, make that tree drop something good, because quite frankly, you should remove it from the game. And then on the last note for this, and then for the last thing, all of the cinders that you collect during the Helltide have to be used up before the Helltide ends. Any cinders left over after the Helltide ends will be removed from your inventory, and you will never be able to use them again, and you'll have to start from scratch during the next Helltide. And that's why I say, if you are towards the end of a current Helltide and you don't have 175 cinders to be able to collect your next mystery chest, then by all means use it on a lower ranked chest, so that way you can at least get something for the work that you put in. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.